Hey guys, my name is Sharam, and in this video I'm going to show you a level progress and save game system that I hacked together. I'm going to give you a quick demo of it, and then we'll jump into the blueprints, and I'll give you an overview of how I set up the blueprints for this project. Alright, let's jump in. Alright, so we just start out on this simple menu screen, and if you click play, it's going to start the game, and you might have saw the message in the top left there that I created a save game file. Each of these glowing pillars is actually the level end, so if we hit that object, it's gonna save our progress and it's gonna take us to the next level. So I'm gonna give you a quick demo of all that, and we're on level 00 as you can see, so let's do it. Alright, so that's level 1. You can see it says that it saved it in the top left. We're now on level 01. Level 02. It says that it's saved. Level 03. Okay. And then after this one, I'm just going to exit the game actually and come back in so you can see that the save game works. So right now we're saved onto level 04, and if I exit the game and then I relaunch it and I press play again, so it sees level 04 loaded. So we should be starting off level 04, and that's pretty much the base of the save game system, is that you can leave the game and then come back and start off on the level that you were at. And if I complete this one, then the save game will reset to level 00, and we'll be taken back to the main menu. And that's it. That's it, game completed, back to the first level. And if you click clear save game, it'll do the same thing. It'll just bring you back to level 00. And that's the basis of the whole system. It seems very simple in the project or in the build, as you can see, but it's also quite simple in the blueprints, which I'll give you an overview of. Before I jump into the tutorial, I just wanted to let you know that you can download the project files for free from my website. You can also buy them if you feel like you want to support me. You can also support me on Patreon, PayPal, and blockchain. Alright, let's jump in. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the project file and the blueprints that make our build work and make the level progress and save game system work. Okay, so this is third person character blueprint. This is all the default stuff up here, and then we have our event begin play, and then I have a sequence. I am just like creating a fade in widget. That's what creates that beautiful fade in that we're getting, and this will be in the project file that you guys can download from my website. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the assets that we have here, or the variables and functions that we have here before we go any further. So you could just start by creating a level complete function, a load next level function, and a game complete function, and we'll leave those empty for now, but you could just create them. And then you're going to create a levels array. So you're going to create a string array, and you're going to add, in this case, you could choose your own naming scheme, but I have level 00 through level 04, and array elements 0 through 4. And then you're going to create a current index, which is just an integer variable, and then you're going to create a next level variable, which is just a string. And then there's the save game connection variable, which you just want to make sure that is just set to be save game. You see how we have a game save one? I'll get to that in a little bit. You want to make sure that all the save game connection objects that you create in all of the blueprints are going to be a save game connection. All the save game connection variables are going to just have this default save game object instead of the game save, which is our own variable that we're using for other things, and we'll get more into that as we move forward. I just wanted to give major credit to dev enabled. Everything that I've done here is an adaptation off of his base level progress system. So please go check out DevEnable's YouTube channel. It's amazing and it's helped me out a lot. Link in the description. Okay, so we're gonna start by getting the current level name, and then we're gonna do a for each loop with break. You're gonna connect, so it's gonna loop through the levels in our array here, and then it's gonna do some checks. So it's gonna check if the current level is the same as the array element and if the current index is less than the number of items in the array. So if this is true, then we're gonna go to the next level. If it's false, then we know that our game is over, basically. Like the game has been complete. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead, you could set up all this logic, it's pretty straightforward. So then after this, we're gonna go to current index, and also you're gonna wanna create this custom event, which we're gonna use to break the loop at the end of this sequence here. Okay, so if this is true, then we're going to set the next level variable to be the current index plus 1. So that'll be, let's say current index is level 0, 0, so plus 1 is going to be level 0, 1. It's going to set that, and then we can load the next level in the other functions that we're using. And then break loop, it's very important that you have this break loop here, because we want to tell this to not loop forever and actually end whenever it's done whatever it needs to do. This is just a logic check here to make sure current index is equal to the length of the array minus 1. And then if that's true, we're just gonna set the game as complete. And then we're going to use the next level variable in the other functions. So we're going to take a look at the level complete function. This one has a lot of stuff going on in it, but just bear with me here. So just simple show mouse cursor, get player controller. Again, you don't necessarily need this if you're manually doing this, but if you are migrating this project into your project, then you'll have all this. You're gonna set input game mode, create a loading screen widget. This is where it gets important. So after all that, we're gonna check if next level is equal to game complete. So as we saw in our event graph here, game complete. So if it equals game complete, it's important, and we want to tell it what to do next. Okay, so if game complete, if next level does equal game complete, then we're going to run the game complete function. We'll get to that in a second. And then if it's false, you want to load game from the slot, and I just use save. And it's very important that when you're creating a save game slot and you're loading from a save game slot, it's very important that you use the same name, because this is the object that's going to be saved in the file directory, and it's going to basically you need to make sure you're using the same name. Okay, so we have this cast to game save. So now we're seeing that here, and I'll just quickly show you what that is. So you're going to create a blueprint actor, and you're going to create called game save, and I'll quickly show you how to do that just in case. So it's just going to be a save game object, which will be this first one, and then select, and then you can name it whatever you like, and that's pretty much what this object is here. I'm going to delete that. Okay, so if we go into save game, you're going to want to create just one integer variable in this, and I have it named level index saver. So that's all you need in this game save blueprint. And I'm sure there's better ways to do a lot of things that I'm doing, and some of you who are more advanced, I'm not that, I would say beginner intermediate into Unreal, but the system works, and I think other people will benefit from it, and you guys can adapt it however you would like to adapt it for your own projects. Okay, so we're gonna load game from slot. We're gonna cast, so we're gonna cast to the game save, and we're gonna want to set the level index saver to the current index +1. So that's so we're saving basically the next level. So whenever you get to level complete, it's gonna save that, okay, we just finished index 1 and we're gonna go to index 2. So if the person closed the game right after level complete, then we have that they should start off from the next level basically. And that's what this level index saver is doing for us. This is just for the print string, so I'm getting, in this case, let's say current index +1 is going to be 2. So I'm getting that number, converting it into a string, and then just adding it. So it says level 0, and then 4, or level 0, 2 is saved. And then I'm printing that, and then we're going to save the game to slot with the target being this. And again, you want to make sure that the name is saved here. Again, that's very important that those are the same name. And then you're going to want to load the next level and remove the parent if you have this widget here. Okay, so I'm going to show you what load next level is, and I'll give you a quick another quick look at all of that. Okay, so we're going to go into this, and this one is very simple. So we're just going to create an open level node, and you're just going to connect the next level to it, and then just set the input mode for the player controller. Okay, and then in game complete, this one's also not too complicated. You're gonna use the save game connection as the object, and then you're gonna cast to game save. You're gonna set the level index to 0. So if they complete the game, we want to set the level index back to 0, so they start from level 0, 0, and then you're gonna save the game to slot under the correct slot name, which we are using in our other slot setups. And then I'm just printing a string to tell us that everything is good, and then the game's complete and you're back to the first level, and then I'm just opening the main menu again. Okay, so that's it for everything that's in the third person character. We're gonna look at the level end, or the main menu object first, because there's also a lot of things in here that's happening whenever you press that play button that we saw. There's a lot of things that are happening. So yeah, whenever we press this, there's a lot of logic that's occurring that we're gonna take a look at. Okay, so whenever the play button's clicked, we're gonna check to see if there's the save game exists of our slot name that we very much like. If it doesn't exist, if it does exist, then we're gonna load it, and if it doesn't exist, we're gonna create it. Okay, and then again in here, you're gonna want to make sure that you have a save game connection variable, and that it's also just set to save game and not the game save, just the default save game object. And then you're gonna want the levels array string like we have in our third person character, and you wanna make sure that this is matching exactly the same as what you have in your third person here. So that's very important that those two are the same. The arrays are the same. Okay, so if we'll start with creating. So we're gonna create a save game object, and the class is gonna be our game save, which is based on this guy here. And then we're gonna set the save game connection to be that, either if it's loading from the slot or if it's from what we're just creating. And then we're gonna cast to the game save in either case. And so we're gonna save the game to the slot as save game. So it's gonna use the data that we have in here, which is that the level saver index, and that's basically what it's gonna be saving to the slot. Okay, and then save game created successfully, and then it's gonna run this little new game group here. So show mouse cursor off, And yeah, the create fade widget, you don't need all of that. And yeah, I have a custom event for new game. And then yeah, it's just gonna open level 0, 0 because you're starting from the first level, and setting input mode, and that's it. That's it for when it's creating a new save game slot. And then if it's loading, so it's gonna load the game from slot, set it to save game connection, cast to game save. If the cast fails, I just have that there just in case. Okay, so we're gonna get the level index saver, so we know that this is gonna have an integer stored in it, and it's gonna grab that from our level. It's gonna grab the object from our level array, which is equal to that. And again, I just have this set up so we can see like level 02 is loaded. So it prints a string that tells us that's what those strings are that you see whenever I launch the game. And then I have another little event system here. So I have a load game event, and then I'm just running the open level, and it's pulling from this right here, which again is like, this is pretty much storing what level we're at. And yeah, it's pretty simple overall. Okay, and then now I'm gonna show you, I'll give you a quick look at that again. And then okay, so then now I'm going to show you the level end object. So basically what you're going to need here is you're going to need a box collision, and I just have static mesh for this just to show us, and then you could remove that or do whatever you like. Whenever the actor overlaps this box, we're going to trigger some logic. So whenever the third person character overlaps the box, we're going to load a game from slot, and then we're going to save game connection, which is it's grabbing the data from here and from our save slot object, saving it to the save game connection, and then as the third person character, so this is the object that's in the third person character. And then it's saving it to that, and then again fade out stuff that we don't really need too much, and then it's just going to run the level complete function, and we're pulling that from the cast to the third person character, which again extremely important, or else you're not going to be able to actually run this function, which we have set up over here. So yeah, when you get to the level complete or level end trigger box, which is this guy, then it's going to run all of this and launch the level complete function. Okay, and then we're going to just check the logic inside of the main menu map. So okay, I'm going to show you that real quick. So I have a main menu map, which is what this is, and there's some logic that is occurring when I showed you when you press this play button and all of this, which was in here. But we need to just set it so when you launch the main menu map, it brings this up. And then you could also see down here that I have level 00, level 01, level 02, etc. And they each have this level end object which we made, which you could just drag right into your levels and just set their name. So this is level 01 or level 00, and then I have the same thing set up in level 01, level 02, etc. You can just quickly see, and they're just in different places just for the sake of demonstration. Okay, so back to the main menu map. If we go over here, open level blueprint, you can just see the simple logic. So it's just creating the main menu widget, adding it to the viewport, setting it so it's UI only, and showing the mouse cursor so you can play with that widget. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole package, and yeah, you guys can download this from our from my website, and I'm gonna make a video on how to migrate this package into your own game, and so you can use it in your own projects. I specifically made all this with Unreal Engine 4.20.3. This sort of logic should mostly work, I think, in other versions of Unreal, both slightly higher and slightly lower. And it should also work with different types of projects, so like the flying car project, or the rolling ball project, or the first person character. So this logic should work in all of those projects. All right, well, hope this was useful to you guys. Please check out the website for more information, and yeah, hope this was helpful. Please leave any comments. Again, I'm an intermediate / beginner user of Unreal Engine. I've only been using it for like a little over 6 months here, and I haven't found any asset like this, and I thought it would be very useful for other people, because I was very much searching for a system like this for my own game, which I'm working on, and you guys will see more about that game later on. All right, thank you and have a good day. Peace.